Welcome back to Here's Next Door. Thank you all for watching today. Today we are doing a station cribs with Phoenixville Fire Department. We're going to be doing a number of videos because TowerDirect is also in the building. So make sure you hit subscribe, hit notifications so you can make sure not to miss those videos. But let's go see what they have. So today we're going to meet up with two chiefs. We're going to meet up with the chief of TowerDirect and the chief of the fire department. Hey, how you doing, guys?
How you doing?
What's your name?
Eamon Brazunas.
All right, and you're the chief of the fire department, correct?
Yes.
And you are?
Brad Cosgrove, chief of TowerDirect. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good to see you, Brad. So you guys work a partnership here, right? How does that work? You're two separate entities.
We are. You know, what we did after a lot of hard work by our borough council and staff, and my arrival less than 2 years ago, we were focused on improving the EMS system here in the borough of Phoenixville. TowerDirect was a logical choice for us based on the long-standing partnership with Phoenixville Hospital that we've had. The TowerDirect team was able to come in quickly and improve our EMS system for the residents with relative ease. And having them in our brand new facility here was a no-brainer. So we work hand in hand with our EMS partners every day, and it's been phenomenal thus far.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. So, Brad, we were talking before the video.
Yep.
We're going to be doing a station rigs on your specialty vehicles. Can you tell me the two vehicles that we're going to be talking about?
Yeah, so on top of our ambulances and everything else we do to move patients for the communities at like Phoenixville Borough and the health system, we also have a critical care unit that we're going to talk about, as well as our mass casualty incident, which is the Chester County Rescue Task Force asset that we're fortunate enough to staff here and our crews are utilizing. So yeah, we're going to catch up later. I think Eamon's going to give you the tour of the new facility, and then we'll see you soon.
All right, I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yep. So for the viewers, make sure that you hit subscribe, hit notification, so you can make sure to pick up those videos. It's going to be in a separate episode of a Station Rigs. Brad's going to talk us through that at a later time. So, but for now, let's do the Station Cribs with the chief here. First of all, this location was perfect to pick. It's right near a little creek here. You got a new development here. You got a couple of things that are kind of booming. Was that very specific, or was it just kind of land that was given to you?
Yeah. So the borough went through a process to analyze the most, advantageous spot to put a firehouse. The existing location on Church Street, 175 Church Street, which many of the residents are familiar with, was looked at. And the location we're currently at was another option. Based on future growth in the community, and also just having more room to move around back here versus being landlocked up on Church Street, this made a lot of sense from a travel standpoint, just overall location. It just was the best spot to be in.
Yeah, you were able to get a pull-through bay. You have a little
Correct.
training facility out back.
Yes.
But we'll get to some of that in a little bit. Can you walk me through where I'm at here? So I walked
Sure.
in the foyer. This is where the public comes in.
Yes, you walked in the foyer. So we have a intercom system in there. So when someone rings the doorbell, if someone's not out here, we have a screen in the back that they pop up. We can talk to the person, hey, we're coming up front real quick. It just makes it a little bit easier versus not just having a generic doorbell.
Right.
You actually see a human, have an interaction. We have deliveries and stuff going on. It just, one of those, it seems simple, but sometimes in fire stations, a lot of moving parts, things are happening. It just makes it a little bit more efficient
Right.
for us.
And it's also secure for you guys.
Absolutely.
Someone's just not walking
Correct.
in here. Basically your house.
Correct.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. So we invite the public in the door here.
Okay.
So we're in our main lobby area. To the right, we have our multi-purpose room.
Okay. Okay, so this is almost like a training facility in here.
Yeah. So this has been nice to have this space. So we use this for training, obviously. We have community events. The mayor's had a few different things that have been going on in the community over the past year or so. So we've had the mayor here, we've had Congresswoman Houlihan, and we do different functions. So being able to transition the space quickly for different things is something we didn't have at the old facility. And all these tables that you see here and chairs can all fit nicely in that storage closet that we have there that is huge.
Okay. I like the fact that you got a ton of seating in here. You can hold pretty much the entire department in here to do any kind of training.
Correct.
Do you train regularly? Do you have a Monday night or a Tuesday
We
night?
train
training?
every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday?
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Okay, okay. Do you hold any kind of classes like CPR or AED trainings or anything like that?
So we recently got a grant for new CPR dummies and CPR equipment. We're looking to get that program set up in partnership with TowerDirect. So that's a work in progress right now, but this will be one of the rooms that we're primarily using for that venture.
Yeah, nice room you got here.
Yeah.
All right.
We also have, before we go, we do have our kitchenette area. So if we are doing lunch or things going on, microwave, we have a little fridge over there. It just makes things easy, so we're not going back and forth between the kitchen and the multi-purpose room.
Right.
All right, we're going to check out our command room.
Okay.
So,
Or watch center, right?
or watch center, yeah. So, again, we've been in here since August of 2022. There's just some different elements we want to work into the room here. But our county radio, we're in Chester County. That's the mobile radio system we have over there, as well as Station MDC. We actually have Chester County and Montgomery County on the MDC because of our mutual aid and how close you are to Montgomery County. So we're able to get a pre-alert for incidents in Montgomery County, and also get times from Montgomery County as well,
right?
Because of the mutual aid we provide.
It looks like you're using kind of an IM responding app to get dispatch.
Yeah, so we APS Smart Hub is what it's called.
Okay.
So we're using that. It's showing all our incidents. We can put messages on there about events that are going on at the station. The weather's on. That's clicked on it at this point. So again, we have a couple of those screens throughout the station. It helps with situational awareness and what's going on during the day.
Right. So this comes into the foyer, right?
Yes, this comes into our foyer. One of the things that was important to us when we went through getting the move from Church Street to Paradise Street was maintaining the history of the fire department and being able to display that and show that off to the public.
Awesome. Take a look.
As we walk through the facility here, you'll see a series of pictures of Phoenixville Fire Department. And this was originally a black and white photo that was done up on Church Street. One of our members, Rick Rotundo, as well as Dave Meadows Sr., worked together to get these pictures colorized.
That's pretty
cool. To really
cool
show
to
the history.
see.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And this unit right here, this hose cart, that still exists. That's up in Harrisburg at the museum, at the Fireman's Museum.
Okay.
That they have.
We actually did a fire museum in Reading, and they had some of those things. Maybe we got to hit up the one in Reading or in Harrisburg, see if we can see that.
So, yes, we're very proud of that. That was a big deal for us. A little bit more of the histories we've talked about. I have a connection for my volunteer experience down in Berlin and the other end of Chester County with Devon Horse Show. That's an area that Berlin covers. So when I got hired here in the old station, I was looking at one of the old showcases and I saw these two trophies. I'm like, Devon Horse Show. Yeah. I'm like, what the heck is that? And they were not as clean as they are now.
Right.
And I'm going crazy. I'm like, oh my God, the Devon Horse Show. And guys were looking like, dude, are you nuts? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, the Devon Horse Show. So Phoenix had two horses, Harry and Duke, and here they are right here.
Okay.
These were like two phenomenal horses. And obviously, we didn't always have motorized vehicles.
Yeah.
We had to use the horses. And these two horses were like, they were awesome. They were the bomb, basically, back in the day. So Harry and Duke tore it up at the horse show. And in 1911 and 1912, they went first place in their divisions at the horse show. So as part of the celebration of the horse show of being served for 125 years, 150 years or so, I brought those awards down and they cleaned them up for us. And we had them on display at the horse show.
That's awesome.
Right after I got hired here. So it's very, kids get a kick out of it, obviously, when we talk about it. But again, you're kind of connecting, the past to the present. That was important for us to get those artifacts in here. And Dave Meadows Sr. already mentioned our longest tenured volunteer. He's been a critical component, make sure all this stuff has ended up here. So the other last piece before we move on, this is the original drum that's down in the picture in here, right around the turn of the century, around 1900 there.
Okay.
So that is the drum that's in that picture down there. The rope, twine, whatever you want to call it, that's around the drum, that's been replaced. The old stuff had rotted away years ago. But the crew member, Sylvia Day Sr., was able to keep that in the condition it's in, which is phenomenal. So it's really neat that a lot of stations, over time, guys take stuff to their houses, stuff gets passed through hands, whatever.
Right.
It just gets lost. The fact that they have kept a lot of this is just very neat and very cool. We actually have more items we're trying to display, but this was a huge hit for the public, people of all ages, when they were able to come in and see this when we first opened the station.
Now, I noticed in that picture, you guys have a ton of volunteers there. Is this a volunteer or a paid station now?
So we're a combination department.
Okay.
So we have 3 full-timers, including myself. We have 18 part-time employees, and then right now we have about 40 volunteers that are doing active firefighting duty or active support and administrative roles.
Awesome, awesome. All right, take
All
me
right.
through the rest of the house.
All right, we have our gear room to the left as well as our apparatus bay. We're going to check that out in a few minutes, but I want to, before we get over to that, show you our day room back here. As we're walking through, we talked the history already. We have one of the bells that was on our previous fire apparatus. Actually, apparatus is pictured right here.
Okay.
And this is the old Church Street station. So again, that's our bell that we use for special events, and we're able to use it for our housing as well.
I love how they were able to colorize a lot of those pictures. You know, many times we see them in these black and whites, and to colorize it really makes it pop for us.
Yeah, one of the neat ones that we didn't, the black and white was so sharp on this picture. We're keeping it like that.
Right.
But old Seagrave, open cab, ladder. I mean, very cool picture to still have.
So
we passed another bathroom. So we talked that separation. So we call it that front area the public area, so we can lock that off.
Right.
So if someone's using it for an event or something's going on, just eliminate the flow back and forth. We can kind of keep everybody up towards the front.
Okay.
Just more of a convenience, also security thing. We have a lot of things going on in the firehouse.
And keep the privacy of your own fire guys.
Correct.
Here, so.
Yeah, so we started with storage. So we had some storage up in that multi-purpose room that we showed. There's another storage room here, and our electrical and mechanical room as well.
Okay. Nice, big size crew room.
Yeah, so we're back. Yeah, we're back in a crew room / day room. The one thing is having everybody together. That's important. Obviously, we have a unique situation with our EMS where we have the fire department and TowerDirect working with us in partnership. We wanted to make sure when we're doing that everybody's, cohabitating together, not going to their separate corners.
Right, right.
There's people that have arrangements like us, and it's like oil and water, or people are in different directions, and we don't want that. We need everyone together, eating together, conversing together. If they get a minute to watch some TV for a little, take a break.
Cohesive,
correct.
Communications between each other.
So yeah, building those relationships, and that's important, because the last thing you want to do is trying to figure that out when a call is going on. You build that trust, build that camaraderie. That's an important thing for us, and that's one of the things that went into the design of the room. So.
Sure. So you got the big old television. You got plenty of
big
recliners.
old television.
I like that it's
recliners.
got cup holders in it too. So
cup holders.
Kind of limit the end tables.
Yeah. So the one thing is, as we walk through, you might notice, and it's interesting because some of the people were like, this looks great. We're not sure. Was the concrete floors?
Okay.
So you'll see carpeting once we get upstairs, but I can tell you, for being in this for 25 years, this makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
So we have the carpet where the TV area is, but just from a maintenance standpoint and cleaning and things like that, this concrete floor, highly recommend it. Very easy to maintain. It's just makes life a heck of a lot easy. And I know some people are like, why is he bringing this up? But for the guys that try to, gals that keep the firehouse clean, it makes their life a lot easier to deal with things. And it's high traffic. I mean, you want that home feeling, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of people coming in and out. Shifts changing, things like that. So you got to take that into account when you're designing your station. You're thinking about, again, the maintenance and the upkeep of that station.
Right. You also look like you incorporated the hot, warm, and cold zone.
Correct.
You're dropping your gear, you're washing your gear, but you're coming into your living quarters. You want to keep that separate too. So that's a good way to do that. I noticed your table too. Did you guys have this made? Do you have somebody in the house that makes these?
We did. The gentleman that put it together, he did this table for us, as well as our response board, which we'll see in a few minutes. So yeah, I mean, it's a great table. It's got the plug-ins for your phone or for laptop underneath, and we have our fire department seal as well as the Borough of Phoenixville seal. And again, just big table. And
this is where all the problems get solved.
Yep, all the problems in the world get solved here.
Yep,
everybody knows that. Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. You got a nice big kitchen, but I noticed you guys only have, you said, 3 full-time employees, right?
3 full-time.
So you don't need to have 3 separate fridges. Like, I've been to stations before that they've had different platoons, A, B, and C platoons. So they'd have 3 different fridges. You got a very large fridge that can accommodate whatever you need.
Yeah, and we're going to be adding full-time staff on next year.
Okay.
We have a plan to get up to 18 full-time employees on a 3-platoon type system.
Okay.
That doesn't happen overnight. We're gradually working with the council members and senior staff to make that happen. There's a vision to keep things progressing, but at the same time maintain volunteers as part of our model as well.
Right, but even in this area, you got plenty of kitchen to work and feed those kind of guys, and you have some extra space. So if you do need to bring in more fridges or different cabinetry, you have a place to do that.
I mean, it's great because we have a nice stove. I mean, one thing that they've incorporated now is a safety feature. So if the stove's on, once a call goes off, it cuts the stove off.
Nice.
So unfortunately, as you know, there's many stories over many years of firefighters burning their station down to go for a call.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's been worked in, and again, it's a code requirement, that cuts that off if a call comes out, whether it's fire or EMS.
Right.
So obviously you're cooking and not everybody's going. You got to work through it, but again, it's a good safety feature that's built in.
Yeah, I like that.
Cause a problem in the
I work with
firehouse.
a partner. It's just me and a partner, and we don't have that kind of thing. So we always have to make sure our crock pot's turned off. How do we get upstairs from here? Is there a staircase?
So we have an elevator,
Okay.
and then we have 2 stairwells to go up.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we'll go up the stairwell.
All right, so we're in our living area / office administrative space of the station.
Okay.
Make our way down the hallway here. So you see the carpet squares that we have, similar to what we had downstairs as well in the day room. So we have a men's locker room, women's locker room. Do you want to check one out?
Sure, we can take a look at it. Oh, it's much bigger than a regular room, yeah.
I think we're safe.
Okay.
No one's in here. Big gear lockers, personnel lockers for volunteers and staff to use.
Right.
These, full-size lockers. We've talked about incorporating some others in some space. Bench for folks to sit down on.
Showers and everything.
Yeah, so everything as far as cleanliness, the automated dispensers, 2 urinals, 2 showers.
It reminds me of a spa, or when you go to a Planet Fitness or something like that, where you have the benches, the lockers, everything that you need. And I like the fact that you have a door on the shower too, so someone can come in and use the restroom, but yet you're taking a shower.
Yeah.
There's been firehouses that we go to that, unfortunately, put the shower and the urinal both in the same room, and you got to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the women's locker room is set up very similar to the men's as well. So up here we have 10 individual bunk rooms. So we could add bunk beds, or we could have more of a communal room. But
10's a pretty good number.
It is. 10's a good number, but there's plenty of studies about sleep apnea with fire EMS providers. Having your own space or something to be said for that. People snore, people make noise, people have weird habits, whatever it is, CPAP machines. So we want our personnel to be well rested when they can get rest. So having those individual spaces is important.
Right.
And obviously there's plenty of studies been done by NVSC, IFC, IFF talking about the importance of sleep. And a lot of that is contained in that, what's been studied and recommended, we've incorporated into the station design.
That's good. Take a look at one of these. They're pretty much all the same?
Yeah, pretty much all the same.
Okay.
So obviously some of the rooms have a window, depending on what side of the building. We're on one of the interior rooms.
Okay.
So bed, desk, chair, couple cabinets for storage. This is a spare that got moved from another room.
Okay.
Armoire for personnel. Right. And each room has its own controls with the alerting system that we have, the APS system.
So as you grow, you could set it up to say, I just want EMS calls. I don't need to have
so you can do just fire, EMS, or other calls, which that's like the chief's notifications, this third option we have.
Okay.
And then you have your volume control as well. And then we added these after the fact, just to let you know who's here.
Yep.
So these are more, as we walk down, a couple more bedrooms. These are all bedrooms on this side.
Okay, and there are 10 of them all together.
Correct.
Okay.
Deputy Chief Dixon sneaking through.
Yeah.
So this is our line officer's room.
Okay.
So a couple of our officers in here, as well as the TowerDirect officers, as well have office space. I think for the most part, people are seeing this. We're still getting settled in. I think for the most part, we've got a lot of what we need, but there's still some things with screens and computers we're still adding.
Okay.
But it's a nice room. I mean, you got good
nice
views
and big.
of everything.
You got plenty of space to do what you need to do. And as you continue to develop and set it up, that's a perfect place to have.
Exactly. So here's our conference room. Let's check this out. So this is great, just to have a room that you can do, spec meeting for apparatus, which we did with the tiller that's coming down the road. We have staff meetings in here, volunteers can have meetings in here. It's nice to have rooms like this, be able to build this in
Right.
to the design.
Right. I like the fact that you have the power outlets right in the table too, so you can hook this thing up and do what you need to do. Many times you had the Zoom meetings, when COVID happened, you can hook that up. I saw you got the screen there.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The laundry is the other one, and again, going back to cancer, prevention, make sure people are not commingling things and using washers. They shouldn't be for certain materials. So all the street clothes can be washed and laundered in this room. And then the gear room, what you'll see are our gear washer and all that, that's all downstairs. Like truck towels and stuff.
Yep.
That's all getting downstairs.
Okay.
So that's what we have in there.
So that's your bed linens, your pantry
Correct,
clothes.
bed linen, same, yep, exactly. So here's my office.
Oh, nice. You got it all set up. You definitely moved in.
As everyone jokes, a couple of the guys call it Ruby Tuesdays. They like my my flares, you want to call it.
Yeah. No, I like it.
So yes, this is where I'm at a good portion of the day when we're not doing calls or I'm running to the borough hall for meetings and things.
Okay.
But yeah, it's nice to be able to have an office like this.
So that's what the rest of the building is going to look like as you continue to develop.
Correct.
People are going to, kind of move in, make it place their own, and bring in some of those more pictures and stuff like that.
So this is our study. So it's another room that if someone has a laptop, they just need a quieter space to operate out of. No, we just got that printer yesterday, actually.
Okay.
So have a printer for volunteer staff that need to come up here and do things, do schoolwork. Just reading a book and kind of get away from everybody and not be downstairs, or sometimes it can get noisy, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, I mean this another nice room with a nice view outside, and just a good space for us.
Here's the elevator. Okay.
So here's the elevator.
So we're standing right now over the foyer area.
Oh, just getting an ambulance call.
EMS response.
Yes, that's it.
That's it? Oh, here it comes.
322A. 119 Hunt Drive, Cross Street. Man. Upper Providence, cancer. Hip fracture.
Okay. So they're doing a mutual aid call, mutual aid cover call. So that's what it sounds like. So it opens up alerts, says EMS call or fire response,
Right.
or chief's notification, and then it'll shut off here in a second.
Right. But you control the volume if you need to here or in each individual rooms too.
Yeah, and then if for some reason the system stays open, this will reset the system.
Okay.
So it clears it earlier. So we have a system reset here, and then also down in our command room
At first
as well.
I thought that was one of the old fire alarms.
yeah. So the 3 more bedrooms on this side
Okay.
to close out the bedrooms that we have. TowerDirect, this is their EMS office that they have up here. So from a HIPAA standpoint, which is a big deal in our industry, they need to have their own space where they can do their charting and people aren't hanging over their shoulder, and they can keep what they need to keep in their space. So that's what this is all set up for them.
Okay.
So you get all the patient care
A little bit
reports
of a
done.
lounge too.
Yep, and then they have a little bit of a quiet space as well, so they need to decompress. After call, and they don't necessarily want to be around 50 people.
Right.
They can come up here and relax a little bit, which is
Right.
which is a positive thing. Sometimes you need that.
So how long have you guys been working as a relationship? About a year now?
We're coming up. Only about half a year at this point.
Half a year. Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long yet.
Have you found that the merging of the two have had difficulties, or are they doing pretty well?
Seamless.
Seamless. Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
seamless. And I think again that just the basic action of not, okay, you guys are over here and you cannot step foot in this part of the building, and unfortunately that stuff does happen to places. And I've read stories about that. We're not doing that here.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to be. It's truly one team. It's
That's
not
awesome.
just something people say.
Right.
We're all together.
Yeah. You're like, I'm TowerDirect, you're Phoenixville Fire. We're not
Correct.
going to work with each other.
So here's our fitness room here.
Okay. Oh, this is huge. I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
This is absolutely massive. I was
The-
expecting more of a smaller one.
There are items that we brought over that were still in decent shape, and then we worked with the Relief Association, with Phoenixville Hook and Ladder. We looked at different grants, and we were able to get pretty much everything we were looking for in this room. There's a couple other items. We want to get a couple TVs and some mirrors.
Okay.
But we have a lot of equipment that's being used not only by our firefighters and our EMS providers. The police department also has access to the space as well.
Nice.
So being a borough facility, we're able to get the police in here as well.
Okay.
And the thought was to also incorporate them into the building, get more interaction with our people. Again, going back to building camaraderie, getting people to know people, rather than meeting for the first time on a scene. Getting the police into the building here with our guys is important to me. And that's one of the ways we're able to do it with a space like this.
Yeah, and you got everything. You got the ladder machine, you got the stepper, you got treadmills, free weights.
Yeah. Then we have the other thing that's important to us is you support our military. So one of our newer volunteers in the new Steel Point development, which is across the bridge from the firehouse.
Okay.
He's active military, so he's able to acquire flags for us. And we're able to display them in our workout facility.
They're the heroes next door too.
Exactly.
So. And that pretty much concludes the upstairs, correct?
Yeah, that should be about it for up here.
So just to kind of give the viewers a kind of perspective of what we just did, we came in the door, we made that left, and we basically did a big circle.
Correct.
And we're now heading back out of the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as getting down, like we have, there's 2 ambulances, depending on what time of day it is. There could be 2 ambulances on. There's always a minimum of 1.
Okay.
And then daytime peak hours, there's 2. So the 3 rooms on this side are the EMS rooms.
Okay.
We have another 4th room on that side. So the thought is this is the stairwell that's going to get you down to the bay the fastest.
Okay.
And then the ambulance is right next to where the gear is at, which we'll see in a minute.
Okay.
The whole idea is about speed.
Yeah.
And making it easy down and boom on the natural flow
Right.
to the ambulance versus having the ambulances on the far side of the bay where you're kind of navigating through everything and wasting time. So trying to minimize the amount of steps from bed to driver's seat or to the passenger seat, depending on what role you're in.
All right, we made our way back downstairs.
Yeah, so we made our back ways.
This is our gear room.
So we have our gear room here. So again, we talked about our hot, warm, cold zones. So we're in our warm zone at this point. The 2 fans that we have in are specifically put in here for to help with additional circulation.
Okay.
So there's a filter in there. So that helps with any carcinogens on the gear. We're pretty regimented after a fire or training where, again, someone said exposure to smoke or fire and gear's getting clean, but if anything residual, that's helping to clean the air. And then the HVAC system is set up with a special filter as well for, again, filtration of the carcinogens.
Okay.
That's
And
why
just for the
designed.
viewers know, I blocked that up because we're doing filming, not because they leave that open on a regular time.
correct.
They keep that closed. So.
We're going to check out our apparatus bay. As you'll notice, we have 1 ambulance missing. We were upstairs and we heard the alarms go off.
Yep.
That was where the ambulance sits, and now they're out helping someone in the community.
This is huge. I love the high ceilings. You got the big fans. But I noticed behind us, you have a couple of different things on the wall here, too.
Yeah, we got a few things. So the station as a whole is 26,000 square feet. So 6 drive-through double deep bays.
Nice.
So a lot of room to operate and have a lot of flexibility with the space.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a bunch of things going on the wall. So the table that we talked about in our day room, crew room, the same gentleman who put it together for us also did, our status board for the day. So we have important notes.
Okay.
Also have listed, who's working. To the left of that, we have our fans up top that help with a tremendous amount of circulation.
I noticed you have an old board over here. Do you know where that came from?
Yes, this is our game wall board. So before 911 existed, many communities in America had
Excuse me.
Fire boxes. So when people talk about box assignment or fire box, this is what they're talking about. So they're fire boxes on corners. This is the original box that was at Bridge and Main Street in the borough of Phoenixville.
Okay.
This has been refurbished. So
is it functional? It looks like it's connected.
yeah, we're going to hit it here in a minute.
Awesome.
So, this system, the game wall system, served the borough from 1906 until 1982.
Okay.
So long time.
Yeah. So just to make sure I understand how this works, if I'm at 25, which is Bridge and Main, I would just go to this box and pull the lever, and that's what dispatches you?
Yes. You'd come up to the lever, pull it down. Then you can hear our code wheel starting to spin. It's catching the teeth in the mechanism,
Okay.
starting to send the signal.
Good.
Yeah, so you're on the bridge of Maine. We've pulled the lever. Now the beeping starts.
Okay.
So we're getting the strikes on the paper. So we have 1, 2, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 25.
Okay.
So as volunteers back in the day would get familiar, they wouldn't necessarily have to come up to the tape to look, wait, did I hear that bell right? Or the amount of gongs? They would hear it and know exactly where they need to go in the truck. And then if you came in late to the station or missed it, you'd run over, look at the tape, what the last call was, and know where you need to go. So that'll run through 3 times. So we got our first cycle, our second set, and now we have our third set coming up.
Right. It's an ingenious but yet simple way to dispatch a fire system.
Yeah.
You know, back then they didn't have the phones that we have today. They don't have cell phones like we have today.
Yeah.
So having this pre-planned is very important. Knowing where your streets are, because Bridge in Maine, if I don't know my territory, I wouldn't even know how to get there. So I heard the bell go off. It said 2 and then 5. Okay, Bridge in Maine. I check my board and then I roll.
Yep.
That is
Exactly.
awesome.
So we just completed. We're getting ready to complete our final set here of 20 box 25.
Okay.
So again, very, like you said, very ingenious kind of system. In its heyday.
Right.
But again, from a historical standpoint, it was tremendous to be able to maintain it and display this for the public.
Yeah, and you can show the younger generations on how that works. You know, the schools that come around and like to check the truck days and that kind of stuff. Show them exactly how, firemen used to be dispatched.
Yep.
So, the other thing I'm noticing, you got a pole that kind of goes to nowhere.
So in the old station on Church Street, the original building was 2 stories.
Okay.
At some point over time, that second story came off and they expanded a little bit. So the one side of the property where there was an old school, they joined the buildings up and they determined they didn't necessarily need that space, and there were some HVAC issues and some other problems. They said, look, we're just going to have the one store on the Apparatus Bay side and the basement underneath. So they had the pole, but obviously at that point, you don't need a pole if it's a one-story building. They took the pole out, ended up going into the depths of the basement, disappeared for years and years and years. This ended up coming back out. This did not look this way. This thing was black, it was brown, it was dirty.
Right.
It got all cleaned up. So this is the original fire pole. The bracket you see up top there, that's the original bracket.
Okay.
The only thing that's new on this is the floor flange down at the bottom.
Okay.
We cut the pole down a little bit just to make sure it fit correctly with the game wall board display.
Right.
Showing that history is important to us, as we've talked about throughout the tour, and being able to have this is a big deal for us, and showing people.
And even though it's not a functionable pole, you can tell people, I have a fire pole in my fire station.
Correct.
All right, so we talked about the board here. This is
talked
your
about our
membership
board.
to
Yep.
kind of let you know who's on the truck. You got some hose storage.
Storage has been a common theme, so we have basic storage throughout the building. Storage for equipment and hose is important as well. So you'll see our hose storage room that we have. You want to hold the door for me?
I got that. We'll turn on the light. Oh, comes on right away. Okay, yeah, plenty of storage back here.
Yeah, plenty of storage. So we have our large diameter hose, some 1 3/4 and 2.5 inch hose, our spare SCBA, as well as spare cylinders. You'll see our compressor system in a moment. We get the other side of the station.
Your foam.
Some foam canisters, some different miscellaneous equipment.
Appliances, yeah.
Again, we're trying to get this built out. The one thing before we exit the room here, trying to keep this floor clean as well as the concrete floor. So we have a ride-on
Zamboni.
floor Zamboni.
Yeah.
Worth its weight in gold. We talked about the cleaning and the maintenance. Everyone knows what a drag it is to have to clean the engine bay floor, especially during the wintertime when it's cold and it's just you don't want to do anything. So you spend a little bit extra money to get the rider to do this floor makes things more efficient. Guys don't get worn out. You can do that concrete floor as we talked
With an engine bay
about.
this size, if I were to do this by hand, we used to just spray it down, scrub it with brushes, and use the squeegees. It'd take me half the shift to try to get it all done.
Exactly. So yeah, but Yeah, the personnel really like that. Makes life easy.
Let's see, you got EMS storage room for extra
So
supplies.
EMS storage. So along with the theme of getting our EMS providers down the stairs quickly to their rigs, same concept when they come back to get them restocked. They're not traipsing across the engine bay. They're not going down the basement. They're not going upstairs. The core, what they need is in here.
Yep.
We have additional storage items, backboards and things like that on the other side. But we have all the various things they need to get their ambulances restocked or contained in here.
That's perfect.
So it makes things easy.
Yep,
Right near
nice
the
and easy.
ambulance. Yep.
Efficient.
Nice and easy.
Now we're going to go to the other side of the building because you have some stuff on the other side of the bay, right?
Yep. All right, so we're on the other side of the station. This is our compressor room. We also have our O2 oxygen
Okay.
refill here as well. So oxygen cylinders, storage, electrical, main electrical feed coming to the building. We try not to have too many things in here as far as storage. We might have a little bit of water, a little bit of oil dry. That's it. That's intentional.
Yep.
You don't want to store a ton of stuff in this area. We're fortunate to have our a good compressor system.
Making our way along here. This goes to a staircase?
Yep, this goes up to our mezzanine.
Okay. This goes up. There's basically more storage up there.
Yep, more storage
HVAC.
up there. It's our engineer's room.
All right. This is the room that I absolutely love. Every firehouse I go to, I always want to look at the engineers. I'm an auto mechanic, shade tree mechanic. I like to work on all my own
Okay.
vehicles. I lifted my truck. I did all kinds of other stuff to it.
Nice.
So these are the kind of rooms that I like to play in.
Yeah, so this is really starting to come together. Assistant Chief Bless met today. Assistant Chief Lear's off, but the two of them worked closely together to get what we need for this room. We're still working on to get some different things in here.
Right.
Having the table in the middle where you can work all the way around it.
That's a metal table, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So if you needed to, you can do some welding, get a drill press in here, get a brake press.
We got the power come down from
Yeah.
the center of the ceiling right down to the center of the table there. If you're making noise in here, which you'll do if you're working on a tool or doing something else,
Yeah.
we have the red and blue lights on the ceiling for alerting. So if you don't obviously hear it or you
Right.
don't have your pager on vibrate,
Okay.
you're at least seeing the visual warning. Oh wait, oh shoot, there's a call. Let me
There's a
shut
call.
things down and get on the road.
Right, right.
So a lot of
Nice room.
hand tools and different things, and
Right.
just the normal stuff you see in fire station rooms, engineer rooms. This is what you
One
got.
of the most important things that we do to try to save some finance is work on our own stuff, whether it's our backpacks, whether it's our trucks or something like that. If you can change a light bulb and do some minor stuff, it's going to save you in the long run. to do that.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, we're fortunate with the staff that we have, as well as a good number of volunteers are very handy with doing things since you work on the trucks. Like you said, there's not the major engine repairs, but the small stuff, a headlight and things of that nature. If you can do that yourself, you save a little bit of money on that labor you're paying sometimes at the vendors to come out.
exactly.
The final room on this side is our is our PPE room.
Oh, okay. Almost looks like another gear room.
So you came at a good time. You should have seen what this looked like a couple months after we moved in back in August of 22. A number of the personnel spent a lot of time getting this organized. We're still working through this area.
Sure.
But you kind
Well,
of
it's
see.
just like any other move.
Correct.
I moved to a new house. It's going to take me a while to unpack those boxes,
Yeah.
find the right spots
Yep.
for it.
So we're working through a lot of this, and the one thing is we talked about how the funding works. We're fortunate that we have Phoenixville Borough, the borough from a financial standpoint supporting the fire department. We have Phoenixville's Hook and Ladder from the volunteer side as a 501c3 supporting that effort, as well as the Volunteer Firefighters Relief Association.
Right.
So really three funding mechanisms funding the overall department. And a lot of the equipment in here are items are purchased by the Relief Association to support the overall mission
Okay.
of the department. So you see a lot of that
Yep.
displayed here.
That's awesome. So I got a question for you, Chief. If I wanted to become a member, a volunteer, or even a paid staff, how do I get a hold of you? Is there a website? Is there a...
Yeah, so our website, phoenixvillefd.org.
Okay.
You can go on there. There's information about how to apply for membership. For volunteers, just a very simple application. They have bi-monthly meetings. You meet with our membership committee. They tell you what's expected as far as Fire for One training, the emergency medical responder course, which many of our firefighters just completed, and tell you about water rescue, vehicle rescue, and all the different things you need to do. to hopefully get people that are serious. And
Sure.
everyone always, have good intentions and want to volunteer in the fire EMS. But we have a lot of people come in like, oh, I didn't realize it was this involved. So we try on the front end to educate people. Look, this is a big commitment. You may not be getting a paycheck, but you got to put a lot of time in, some time away from your family and friends if you truly want to do it right and do it in a safe way and also not put others in danger
Right.
when you're operating on a crew.
Right. So even though it's a big commitment for a volunteer, it's definitely well worth the time and effort to put in because you're going to get so many different skill sets out of it
Absolutely.
when you become part of a fire
Yeah.
department and that brotherhood that you're going to join.
Yeah, and like I said, we have Phoenixville to apply. Again, you go through a process. They vote bi-monthly, and we get the folks in or volunteer. And then we also have the ability that we have openings. That's posted on the Phoenixville Borough website, phoenixville.org. And then we'll also post those opportunities on the fire department website as well. And then you can apply for part-time or full-time employment.
Awesome.
So we try to, it's unique because obviously there's a fire department website, but you have their old borough that's running the show.
Okay.
And then we have coordination going on with everything with announcements.
If I wanted to volunteer, do I have to have experience to come in to do that, or do you guys kind of guide
Not
me along?
necessarily. I mean, we have junior firefighters, just 16 and 17 years of age, and then 18 and over
Okay.
are more than welcome to apply.
Okay.
They have plenty of opportunities. You don't need to have previous firefighting experience if you're looking to join.
To join a volunteer. Okay. All right. So we just walked past an F550 here. This is your.
So this is utility 65. So even this is squad 65.
Okay.
There are nomenclature changes, which make a lot of sense. The county's redesignated some of these units that were formerly called squads. So utility 65. So this is a 2003 F550 Ford. This is primarily used for water rescue response, getting additional personnel to a scene. There's quick response service, medical equipment on this unit as well.
Okay.
And it's a primary unit that tows one of our two boats. It can tow both the trailers. So we have a 2018 Achilles and a 2020 Zodiac. I might have that backwards, but
Okay.
at least we have a Zodiac and Achilles. I might have my years backwards on which one.
I see the waterway going by your station here when I did the
Correct.
drone shots.
Yep.
Where other waterways do you have in the area?
So the biggest ones first, we have French Creek, and then the Schuylkill River is really where these boats come in handy, where they get deployed the most. We were out last week assisting Upper Providence Township with a search for a missing individual. Fortunately, they were located.
Okay.
But these got a good workout, especially when the weather starts getting nicer.
Yeah.
The Schuylkill in our area is very heavily recreated by people.
Right.
Kayaks, paddle boats, speedboats, whatever.
My in-laws bring their jet skis over there all the
Correct,
time.
jet
Yeah.
skis. I mean, which is great, but obviously it comes with it. We got to be prepared for water rescue type events.
Okay.
Not just during storms, because a lot of Chester County, it's in storm events is when you're getting the water rescues. We could get it any time of the year up here,
Right.
based on the waterways that we have to protect.
Yeah, yeah. And this is your vehicle? I see it's got Chiefs on the
Yeah,
front
this
of
is
it.
my vehicle. So this is a 2008 Ford F350. So again, that has an MDC in it. It's a community with the county. If I'm out of town, I'm not available, I can repurpose this to the deputy chief or the other officers to use. So it's not just sitting in a driveway somewhere, it's getting used.
Right.
And then if we're going to training at fire school or something, it's set up in the back where we can put a bunch of equipment in, the SCBA packs like that. We're not commingling things in the patient or the crew
correct.
cab. And again, you're getting exposure, carcinogens, and things
Yeah.
like that.
Nice truck to have.
Yeah, so it's a good truck to have.
All right. And then
So
we have this.
So this is unique. This is our training tiller. This is privately owned by Mark Koenig.
Okay.
We're in the process now of acquiring a brand new KMA aerial CAT 100-foot tractor drawn aerial. That order's in place through the support of the Borough Council, and we're hoping that should arrive from this point about a year and a half, 2 years from where we sit right now.
Okay.
So one of the biggest things making a move to this, which will be the first TDA in the history of Phoenixville Borough, is getting the training right. And knowing Mark for a number of years, knowing access to this, I'm like, hey, you know what, we can do this.
Right.
Phoenixville's very tight streets. The application for a TDA, as they call it, makes a ton of sense here. But I'm like, if we can't get the training right, I'd be like, we can't do it. But I'm like, hey, we have access to a great piece of apparatus that he's maintained, he bought privately. He's working with us and working with the borough. So we have plenty of time to train.
And it fits.
Oh yeah, it fits.
Yeah,
And
that's the other thing.
the station's set up. I mean, you can't ask for a better situation.
Right.
You're not in the street when you park out front.
Yep.
You're not in the back. So it's a tremendous asset to have at our disposal to get our volunteers and our staff trained. So I'm very excited about it. So yeah, that's why this specialty piece of apparatus is here.
Okay, and then you
So
have,
currently, this is our main ladder. So this is a 2008, as well as my vehicle out there, E1,
Okay.
100-foot aerial device. The difference between what this ladder truck is versus the new one that we'll get, this does not have water on it.
Okay.
So this is more, we'll call it your traditional rear mount straight stick aerial device.
Yep.
It's not the Quint concept. Our deal with the tiller would be a Quint concept. This
is
covers
your truck company.
Yeah, this is our True Blue truck company. So as we look at some of the other vehicles, our goal is that we're consolidating existing pumper and the ladder and eliminating a vehicle and streamlining the fleet.
Okay.
Because as you know, money can only get you so far. We got to focus on the people power, but also make sure we have the right amount of apparatus.
Yeah.
The excess apparatus is something that we are trying to focus on as a department, and also working with our council members, make sure we're doing things the right way with the taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice, Chief, that you're always thinking, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. That makes a big difference in
Yeah.
that leadership.
All right, so we talked with the ladder. We have a unique relationship with TowerDirect, as we mentioned during some of the previous conversations today.
Yep.
With their apparatus being in here, we're able to keep a golf cart of theirs that's used for special events in town. So we have the Bridge Street closures, which is very popular.
Yep.
Obviously, sometimes getting ambulances in and out of crowds is the best. Having a small golf cart like that with a stretcher on the back is a great asset to have in town. And we work hand in hand with TowerDirect as needed to deploy that unit.
Right. It looks like they got a bus for mass casualty.
Yeah, so the other thing
unit.
we have the Chester County Mass Casualty Unit is housed here as well. And again, with the space that we have here, it makes it very easy.
Fits, yeah.
We couldn't do anywhere near even half of what you see here at the old Church Street station.
Okay.
Like it wouldn't happen.
Right.
So,
So before we move on, you guys need to hit subscribe, hit notifications, because we're going to be doing a station rigs on this specific vehicle. So look forward to another episode.
all right. So that's the.
We can go this way, Chief.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a Mass Casualty Bus.
And
We're moving over.
This is your engine here.
So this is engine 65-1. This is a 2009 pumper,
Okay.
KME. This has 750 gallons of water and a 1,500 gallons per minute pump. So again, your traditional engine company, so supply lines, some ground ladders, various hand tools, some saws, other equipment like that
Okay.
to help with fire suppression.
All right. Next one, we have another engine. So you got 2 engines.
Yeah, so 2 engines. So this is engine 65-2, and they also call this Bill. Is like the nickname. So they have the Ghostbusters
you're right,
up there, 65-2. This is a Pierce. This is 2001. This is the oldest pumper. This is 1,000 gallons of water and a 1,500 GPM.
Okay.
During the merger of the 3 stations, this was actually engine was up at what was Friendship Fire Company at the time. This was their old engine. So when they did consolidate a fleet, started moving stuff around, this is the old Friendship engine that became part of Phoenixville Fire Department.
Okay.
So
And it
this is a
still
great truck.
Still runs out its first 2.
Yeah, so we rotate. So 65-1, 65-2 get rotated back and forth.
Okay.
This being the oldest, when the new tractor-drawn aero comes in that was talked about, this 65-2 will be the engine that gets sold, as well as the ladder to make that one unit.
Gotcha. Okay. And the last thing we have here
This is Rescue 65. This is our
Okay.
2022 KME. Awesome vehicle. Assistant Chief Bliss, hopefully in another episode, will talk about all the different details on it. This is our rescue pumper. So all our vehicle rescue equipment, some water rescue supplies, QRS response as well. There's equipment
Okay.
on there for that.
Okay.
And
So this is the Swiss Army knife for the department.
Correct.
It's
Yeah.
got everything. It's a rescue pumper. So again, if you guys are watching our series, we appreciate that. We're going to be doing another station rigs on this truck. So make sure to hit that subscribe, hit that notification, so you guys don't miss an episode on this Rescue 65. So Chief,
Yep.
thank you so much for taking us
problem.
around.
Thanks for coming.
You have
Appreciate
an
you coming out.
absolutely beautiful house. I appreciate the time you took out of your day to walk us around.
Absolutely.
So if there's anything we can do for you, you let us know. But
Yep.
first thing I want to make sure we know what your website is. Do you have a Facebook page or anything like that? We want to let the viewers know.
Yeah, so you can visit us at phoenixvillefd.org, or you can visit us on Facebook at Phoenixville Fire Department.
All right. Thank you all for watching. This is another episode of Station Cribs with the Phoenixville Fire Department out of Chester County, Pennsylvania. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Chief, what's going on today, brother? Are you sure we don't have to pull the switch?